hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris, and today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have Black Sites. They have a new album called Untrue. Is that true, Mark?
Maybe.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Yeah, the truth is that it's called Untrue, released on October 8th. Right now I'm being joined by Mark to share some more information about this stellar release, as well as, I don't know, just what the boys are up to. So, Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I have to look it up again, but you were on the show, a couple of years ago, chatting about stuff?
Yes. We had a record a couple of years ago called Exile that we talked about.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. What's happened over the last couple of years? Anything interesting in the world happen over the last couple of years for you guys?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's pretty low key.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we've all been doing our thing. You know, everyone has, we're all in Black Sites and everyone kind of has their other commitments too. We have some dudes in other bands. I have another band. Everyone has day jobs and whatnot. There was a pandemic or something. I read about it on Facebook or something.
Yeah.
That kind of screwed stuff up for a little while.
Where you are?
I think so. I don't know. I haven't really left my house.
Okay. I'll have to look up your area code and figure out where you're at. See if there's like an internet outage or something.
Maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, beyond that, that set us back about 6 or 7 months. Our bass player also left the band, so that set us back a bit. But since then, we've been laying low and working on this record, and it's finally out, and we're very, very glad that it's out there, and people seem to enjoy it, and we're pretty stoked about that too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I've got here that you're in Chicago, so there was a pandemic in Chicago, apparently.
No kidding.
No kidding. Yeah. Weird.
Huh. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. If you look it up on... Check on Facebook again. I hear that they don't have anything that's untrue on Facebook.
No, Facebook's all true.
Completely, entirely, baby. Just a bunch of lost tribes hanging out on there, I'll tell you what.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, looking for the Sword of Orion, I hear.
Excuse me.
So the bass player left. I mean, that's not too terribly unusual for a band, but I mean, I guess the broader question is, what did that mean for this record? Does the bass then sound different because somebody else filled in? Did that guy do his duties before he left? Did you have to bring in a new guy? Is it just easy bass? Like what happened?
So what happened was our bassist Jose elected to leave the band about 2 weeks before COVID hit. So he left, and then everything else got shut down. And when we decided to start working on the record again, auditioning bass players during this pandemic didn't really seem like a good idea. So I ended up playing bass on the record just to fill in. And we are now moving forward with a new bassist, and we'll have an announcement about who that is soon. I can't say yet, but it probably affected the sound of the record a little bit. I'm usually writing some of the bass parts, a lot of the bass parts, but I'm not usually playing them. I'm not specifically a bass player. So once I got the hang of it, I think it worked out okay. I don't think it dramatically alters the sound of the band. Mm-hmm. Frankly, we're more about guitars, I think.
Okay.
But I think the bass turned out okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I completely agree. You funny you mentioned I don't know, like what we'll call a proper bass player or whatever. They're an intriguing species of human, aren't they?
They're very rare, and yes, very strange.
Mm-hmm. I've kind of always thought about that, like a Geddy Lee, like somebody who's just killer on bass, and they're okay with that. Like I can play bass, you can play bass, everybody can play bass, but to take it to the next level where you're like sleeping with it, and
I'll say this, like anyone can physically pick up a bass. Like if you're playing guitar, you can switch over to bass and not suck too bad. But there's a difference between that and being Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
It's a different skill set as far as rhythm and as far as sound and how you approach it compositionally. And for me, I tried really hard not to sound like a failed bass player on this record, even though I kind of am. But No, we've been lucky, man. We've had two really good bassists in this band. Jose was fantastic, and our first bassist, John Pasillo, is also an incredible bassist. So I certainly learned a lot and picked up some tricks from having them in the band. But those were legit bassists. Like, I don't think those dudes ever played guitar first. I don't think they were like demoted to bass. Those were dudes that were born to play bass. And like you said, very interesting species.
Yeah.
But it was a privilege to have both those guys around, and just we kept that in mind. Like, the bass needs to be up to that standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, call it by its name. They eat their young, baby, and that's no echo of a lie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They could be the worst of us. I mean, you did mention, it's a demotion, but
no, the worst is still drummers.
Yeah,
drummers are the worst.
They are.
I used to be a drummer, so I can say that.
Wow. Okay. On to more positive notes. Chicago, baby. Did we ever talk about pizza on the show? We should talk about pizza. Are you like a Uno guy, a Illuminati's guy, or a Rosati's guy? Talk to us about that.
I think I'd be closest to a Malnati's guy. I'm lucky to live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of like local family-owned, like mom and pop pizza places, and they're all fucking fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I tend to go there. But yeah, Malnati's would probably be more in my wheelhouse, I guess. All those places are good.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't really screw it up. Not too badly.
Not too badly, baby. That's true. It's been a while since I've been to Chicago and had a good slice of pie.
Yeah, me too, actually. But I will say this, because people who are not from Chicago might be listening. No one here eats deep dish pizza on a regular basis. I know that's what we're famous for, but you can't eat like that every day. Your insides cannot handle it.
This is true. Very true.
Cracker crust, man.
Cracker crust. It's one of those things, every locale has something that the locals never do until they're reminded that it exists when people come to visit.
Yep. I mean, we have a few of those things, but yeah, deep dish pizza. I don't think I've had deep dish in like 3 or 4 years. Like, just people who live here don't eat that typically. Once in a while, but yeah, not often.
Yeah. There's hot dogs.
There's hot dogs.
Yeah. No
Doesn't
ketchup.
everywhere have hot dogs?
But the Chicago style hot dog. And you guys have rules. There's no ketchup allowed. You got to steam the bun.
We have several rules. Yeah. The no ketchup thing. I'm told that doesn't apply to little kids or people from out of town, but your results may vary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have Italian beefs. We have Polish sausages.
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple, 2-3 things here that you don't have in other cities over there.
That's right. And you got to go, 3 or 4 blocks down Dataway to get it.
Couple, 2-3 blocks over by there.
Mm-hmm. Do you know anybody who has being from Canada, whenever I come across what we call like a hoser accent, where somebody actually lives that and their head's bobbing and they're saying, "Oh, geez," it's a spectacle to behold. Do you ever have that with like a true Chicagoan?
Oh yeah, like that's not some fictional shit. I see those people daily. Like, especially where I live, because it's a slightly older, I guess, demographic out here. There are some old school Chicago people who sound like Chicago and look like Chicago and eat like Chicago. Those are real people. Like, that's not some made up stuff. Those people are out there.
Yeah, it is not untrue.
It is not untrue.
This is very
double negative.
Double negative, baby. Speaking of double negatives, it almost looks like double negative exposure. I don't know. We chatted last about how the artwork looks like Monty Python, and I wanted to bring that up again because I thought that it was just so cool that you guys were able to commission somebody to go, you know what Monty Python did? Could we do that too? But I think it was just me noticing something out of my own mind, because you guys didn't exactly have that in mind, right?
I wish I had the presence of mind to notice that, because it totally looks like that, and you're the first person to call it out. All we did was write Alexander, the artist, and send him some lyrics and say, hey, we really like how Sabbath Bloody Sabbath looks. Go do that, which he totally nailed. But yeah, it's got that 70s British, cut and paste animation style to it in a certain way. Like I totally see it, and that just makes me like it more because I like Monty Python.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have a favorite movie or a favorite series from them?
I don't know if I could pick a favorite. I actually grew up watching the show, the series, because my parents were fans and they had it on tape. Mm-hmm. Which is weird. A lot of people in the States haven't seen it, but I used to really like the show. Holy Grail is great. Life of Brian is great. Yeah, couldn't really pick a favorite. I celebrate their entire catalog.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, baby. Gabriel and he's 7, so I don't know if I'm going to get flack for this or not, but he and I just recently watched Life of Brian.
You showed Life of Brian to a 7-year-old?
I did.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And so
how'd that go?
I'd say it went well. It was a good historical expose, I guess you could say, where he was asking questions and I was explaining not only the satire, but the history and then how that was turned into satire, which may or may not have just released to the world that we don't participate in what that movie is satirically addressing.
Wow. 7 years old, man. That's a full parenting move right there.
Yeah. He's known for a very long. We've told him like, okay, we're not going to participate in this stuff. Just don't tell the kids in school. And then he followed that up until last year. And
is he that dude that's telling everyone there's no Santa now?
Yeah. So we got a note from the teacher that was like, some kid was talking about Santa, and Gabriel just flat out said, "That's a guy who's paid to sit in a suit at the mall." Like,
it is?
He is? Oh my God.
What?
And then,
oh shit!
I know. Top comment here on Bandcamp, blacktights.bandcamp.com is in all caps. Fist me good, Sugarman. So I don't know what's going on with that, but that's a top comment on blacksites.bandcamp.com.
That person and I are extremely close friends, apparently.
Okay.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay. Dr. Wyvern? I don't know how to say these things. Anyway.
Is that like the metal thing where it's a V that's supposed to be a W? Is it Worm?
Maybe. Maybe it's Dr. Worm, and then, yeah, it's a V. Dr. Worm. Fist me good, Sugarman.
Gladly.
I know. The next one is that this is your best record yet. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes, absolutely. Just not in an egotistical way, but if it was something where we were conscious that it wasn't our best record yet, we wouldn't put it out. Mm-hmm. I mean, you reach a point where every record could be, I could get hit by a car tomorrow or something and it'd be my last record. And you don't want to not go out on top.
Yeah.
I'm sure I speak for the rest of the band too, but everything we do, we try to make it the best thing we've ever done. Because if you're conscious, that's like, oh, it kind of sucks compared to the last one. I mean, that's, you don't want to play people that. You don't want to put that out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let me sit you down on the ottoman and play this for you. You will not enjoy it.
Smile politely till it's over and then tell me later how much it sucks.
Exactly. What? Since it was, obviously it needs to be conscious. I think that's something to derive between, I don't know what we'll call hubris. That ego that just says like, oh, of course I'm the best. Was I there? I think I was. Compared against the fact that you're sitting down, arguably as a professional, to craft a body of work.
Well, that's how I've always looked at it. Like professional's a weird term because this isn't like my real job.
Right. But
yeah, it's a craft. It's an art form, and it's something that you don't want to suck at, or at least not have people know that you suck at. Mm-mm. I'm aware that I'm better at certain aspects of this than others. Like I saw a review pop up this morning that said, oh, the vocals are unremarkable. It's like, yeah, I know. I know that.
Thank you.
It's like, they're nothing special. I'm not Rob Halford. I know that. But, you try to do the best you can with the tools you have. And that's actually half the challenge. And that's the fun part, Mm-hmm. It's like, playing guitar, I'm like a 6 out of 10. Vocals, I'm a 4 out of 10. Let's see how far we can take that,
Yeah.
See if I can bump it up to a 5 out of 10 on the next record.
Very true. One of the things I was going to mention, because this guy, Matt, says that it's your best record. You agree with that. But what went into consciously creating the best record? Was it the writing? Was it the recording? Was it all of it? Like, what did you hit the treble up a little bit more and you're like, that's what we should have done on the last record? Or was it, more complicated songwriting, more streamlined songwriting?
All of the above. I mean, I think we put more thought into the songs this time just because we learned a lot making the last record, and especially having to play it live. You get a better understanding of what works and what connects with people and what feels right to play. I personally spent a lot of time writing. There were other songs that didn't make this record or got chop-shopped into other things on the record. A lot of revisions, a lot of second and third and fourth drafts. We put a lot of work into that. The other guys in the band put a lot of effort into crafting their parts and their contributions to the record to make sure everything was at a very high level. Recording it, especially because we were recording remotely, we didn't really get to work together on this because of when it was recorded. That could have been a disaster. That could have tanked everything. Mm-hmm. And we're very lucky that what we tracked turned out okay and it came out cohesive. We worked with Sanford Parker again, our mix engineer, who's very, very good at what he does and made everything kind of fit together. So we got lucky there. But yeah, I think sonically it's the best of the three as well. A lot of it was deliberate. Some of it was just luck as far as the sonics and the performances. But I can honestly say that all three dudes in the band busted their ass on this one.
Yeah, so screw you, unremarkable vocal guy.
We worked hard even if it sucks.
Yeah, even if it sucks. Well, I mean, I'd hate to break it to the guy, but most vocals are entirely 100% unremarkable.
If they're lucky. Usually you can have a lot of remarks about how much they suck, mm-hmm. which is what I was trying to avoid. But, thank you.
Yeah. I think at best it just fits somehow. I can think of a ton of unremarkable vocalists, people who actually suck, but they make it work for them with the music and they make it fit. And, I'm content to listen to a ton of unremarkable vocalists. Not everybody has to be Lady freaking Gaga.
Yeah. In fact, I'm very grateful that I'm not mm-hmm. Lady Gaga, because I'd have to buy all new clothes and,
right.
Things would just get awkward.
Yeah. I don't know that would even fit with what you guys have got going on here with Black Sites.
She'd probably sound awesome singing for Black Sites. She can sing.
I know.
But, I've had moments where I was like, this band would sound cool if we had like some power metal, like more operatic dude singing it. And maybe it would. But at this point, I feel like I'm kind of built into the process. Like the band's just kind of stuck with me on vocals. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think it gives it a different quality that having some super technical, gifted singer, maybe would not have.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. That's right, babes. I have to give it a listen really quick. I ain't got no complaints. I think it works.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. It fits.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it fits like a puzzle piece to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Puzzle piece. That's a good metaphor for the entire record, actually. But yeah, if that's the last piece and it fits, it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cool. So blacksites.bandcamp.com. Everybody head over there. Consume the record wherever it is that you also consume records. If you're not comfortable with that, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, everywhere you consume music. The record.
I don't know if we're on Amazon, but everywhere else, yes.
Everywhere else. Okay. Deezer, Tidal.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So wherever it is you consume.
I'm not in charge of those decisions, but I think we're on Deezer and Tidal.
Okay.
I'd have to check.
Beautiful. And then
if we're not there, go to Bandcamp. How about that?
Yeah, just go to Bandcamp. Do that. And the links to a couple of videos for Sword of Orion and Lost Tribes will also be available in today's show notes. So, Mark, that concludes my questions. So is there anything that I missed, maybe? Because otherwise, I'm just going to say, great having you on the show.
Oh, it was great to be here, man. Great to be back. Thanks for having me. And I think you pretty much covered everything. to anyone listening, if you made it this far, check out Untrue, and who knows, you might like it.